Hello everyone, it's Third Eye again. Have another YouTube video with some good news and some me complaining. But, cuz we are not a doomer channel, we do focus on the good stuff. So today I saw a news article that I actually wanted to talk about just to brighten up your day. And actually, maybe we should get the bad stuff out of the way first. You know what? I'm gonna do that. Okay, so I'm in this crazy staring contest with a bird right now. Hold on. I won. Let's go. Cause I'm the GOAT. Look at that. Okay. That was so dumb, bro. I gotta edit that out. I actually got to get editing software, which I know how to use. It's just, it's hard finding free editing software, and I don't really want to put money into this, It's just a hobby. Okay, so I've been, I don't know. I've been reflecting on, this is gonna get dark pretty quick, but I've been reflecting on, like, death. Everyone's gonna die one day. Some of us sooner than others. But it had me thinking, is life even worth living? That is a very, very complex, intricate, and, devoted topic that we as humanity have, committed to thinking about. That has been the question. Is life worth living? What's the meaning of life? Why have we been put on this earth if it means we are just going to perish? Well, I've been thinking a lot, and I just wanted to offer this video in case anyone else is struggling with the same questions, because I didn't have the answer. And there's a raccoon? Bro, my brain is fried, bro. My attention span is through the window. I see a raccoon, and suddenly I go from the meaning of life to, holy crap, there's a raccoon. I ain't never seen a raccoon run like that. Alright, he went back into the forest. Anyway, we gotta work on our attention span, because that's insane. That's egregious. Okay, but back on track, right? Is life even worth living? Now, I've struggled with this, and to me, before, if you've asked past Third Eye what his take on life was, it was that there is none. There is no meaning of life, right? If there was an objective, surely we would have been told by now. All that we've been offered, though, is, false stuff that's been advertised to us by other people, the American dream and whatnot. And that takes me into my next subject, advertising. I want to yap about this. I hate ads. The reason why meditation is so good for you, in my opinion, and the reason why I meditate, is because it leaves you with a couple of minutes to just sit with yourself, to be quiet, to let your mind, your beautiful and one of a kind, an ultra complex machine that we haven't even began to understand, sit with itself and think. And just, it allows your subconscious to communicate with you, and you to your subconscious. It allows you to take in your experiences without any noise. You get to sit with yourself. It is quiet. Like the reason why I feel it's so important to meditate in the first place is because, hold on, y'all, my neighbor, bro, this has to be covered in another separate YouTube video, but bro, my neighbors, I'm gonna go crazy, bro. Like, they always got to be doing the most. Anyways, moving on from that. I feel like with modern, if you go out and you take a walk and you do anything on your phone or you go out to any place, I mean, this is just with modern capitalism and, like, you know, the state of our country. But, like, dude, there is always, I can guarantee you now, as long as you live, there's some place, organization, or person who is trying desperately to get you to spend your money on them. They, like, and with some of these corporations, bro, like, let's just go back to another thing, right? Elon Musk becoming the first trillionaire, right? Like, think of these corporations, right? Think of Nestle, and I don't know why I was gonna say Yahoo, bro. Outdated that company. Think of like Nestle and YouTube and Spotify. And like, bro, the Nintendo, all these companies have more money than God, like, at this point. Bro, like, they have almost reached, like, even though it's impossible, like, I'm being sarcastic, but, like, they've almost reached divinity with the amount of currency and money that they have. They could, like, you know, the prestige level, like, they should be restarting from zero. That's like getting prestige. That's how much money these suckers have. And yet they still want yours. They want every single dime you have in your wallet in theirs. That's how, like, it's just, that kind of greed and scheming and desire has led to a point where I could be listening to a whatever video on YouTube, right? Shout out to Cam Sandwich, even though, like, I have a viewer base of like 10 people, 11 subscribers. Yeah, that's really gonna help him out, you know. But Cam Sandwich, such a go-to YouTuber. He covers a very specific niche that I like to watch for hours on end. It is unhealthy, but, like, dude, I can't even watch his videos without being shoved ad after ad after ad after ad after advertising after advertising after advertisement after advertisement. Bro, let me breathe, please. And, like, another thing, like Plants vs. Zombies. I love to play that game, especially the original one. I love the endless mode, you know, doing different strategies, farming for gold. But, like, recently, nothing but ad. They be adding these ads to your ad, bro. Like, let me breathe. Let me breathe, please. These suckers need money. They want, like, and it's just, there's like no peace and quiet, bro. The average whoever, I feel like American, I feel like sees, I remember this once, it was like thousands of ads a year. Bro, that's ungodly. That many people begging you for your dirty dollar. And it's like, is money the meaning of life? Returning to our life topic, right? Is money the meaning of life? Can money buy happiness? I used to think so, right? You know that one thing where it's like, you know, whoever said money can't buy happiness was freaking lying, right? To some degree, yes. To some degree, no, right? Money can definitely buy happiness. Money just can't buy everything. I feel like that is a better saying. Yes, money can definitely buy you happiness. Money can buy you things that make you happy, right? But money can't buy everything, right? You know, it can't buy you genuine love or genuine care. It can't buy you wisdom, right? Stuff like that. They're pretty corny, right? But after struggling with this was before I turned 18, but, like, while doing some soul searching, right? This is my view on life, right? It's such a convoluted topic, right? We're born and we're brought into a circle of life where things consume each other and then they die to get consumed, and then those things that consume die. It's a great circle, right? And eventually my time will come and Will anything that I've done mean anything? Depressingly, no. No, it won't. The earth will keep spinning. The beat goes on, right? Space is still empty and expanding at a very rapid pace. And it seems like unless, I don't know how y'all feel about aliens, but I think it's only us, man. I think it's only us. And, birds will continue to chirp, raccoons will continue to scurry. No matter what you do, nothing's gonna change in the grand scheme of things. That's very depressing, but it kind of led me to this one philosophy that I found and I really liked. And I believe this is a philosophy that's already been established, but I coin it now. I like it. And this is my grand outlook, right? And it's that, yes, life doesn't have a meaning. There's not one readily available to me, right? Life doesn't have a meaning, but that's not a bad thing, right? I mean, think about it. You wake up and you were lucky enough to be born on the only planet that sustains life, right? I'm sure you've seen the number before. It's like 0.00000 or like, 10 to the power of negative 100 or whatever, right? But like the odds of you even being born were astronomically low. Technically zero, bro. You have a greater chance building the pyramids with no help 3 times over than being born. You have a greater chance, winning the lottery like 100 times in a row. Some crazy dude. You being born is genuinely a blessing, and I know now because I would before any of y'all, if any of y'all even say this, and it's something I used to say, right? Is my life is not really that much of a blessing. If that's the case, let's just assume the worst case scenario. And I'll use myself as an example. Chud, loser, right? All I used to do was play video games, right? Didn't really give a crap about other people. I was a loser, right? Chud, holy bum, bro. It's never too late. It's never too late to change yourself, and don't accept that this is the way that things are meant to be, that you're forced to live out a dull existence. Because and we're getting back into the universe topic, the only consistent thing in the universe is a change. I said it's a word. The only consistent thing, the only thing that's never going to change in the universe is that things will change. You have so much potential. So, it's genuinely never over, which is why I don't like when, the doomer side of YouTube. But my philosophy is that while, yes, there is no meaning to life, that just means you get to create your own, right? The meaning of life, for me, is whatever you make it. For me, I feel like it's to help other people, right? I just so happen to be lucky enough to be born in the planet I am, to be, the chance of being born alone. And there's other people on this world who suffer and endure great pain and do not have a lot of luxuries that people viewing this video may have. If you're viewing this video, it means you have internet. It means you have access to some kind of internet, right? It means you're privileged in some kind of way, right? If you're watching this video, I can confidently say, surely it can be worse for you. It can be much worse for you. So, and that's the thing. It is much worse for a lot of other people. So I feel like while there is no purpose to life, that means I get to make purpose. And my purpose is to help out the other people who are going through the same thing as me. You only live one time, and, it's everybody's first time. No one has it figured out. So even though I don't know it, I feel like I can help other people out. That's why I like firefighting, and, I want to do Air Force, serve my country so that way others may enjoy freedom, even though a lot of people would disagree in the current political climate, but that's a different video. And to just be a nice person. Oh, great news, but I'll save that for the great news, right? But that's the doomer side. Now we're actually getting on to the good news, right? Which means I get to bring this up, right? So, great news is I'm in a band. So a little brief history on me. I play 2 instruments, technically 3. I play piano, I play guitar, and I pick up bass guitar, right? Because if you play guitar, bass guitar is, you understand it to some degree, right? I can't finger pick. Don't ask me to do that. Where people are like boom, 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 boom. No, can't do that. I'm a chud when it comes to bass, right? But I am the lead guitarist for my band Black Star. That's their name. I know, pretty sick, right? I feel so cool. But and my best friend is in the band. Isn't that so metal, dude? My best friend. I'm so lucky to know this guy. Me and him have been mutually. Not only that, like, bro, if there's one thing you have to be thankful for in life, like, if you have a best friend, please be thankful for them, bro. Especially if y'all are mutual best friends, like, they are a dime a dozen. They're a few and far between, right? Like, I'm just glad to have known him that long. And now, I've known him for 10 years, right? And we've mutually been best friends for 10 years. So, and now we're in a band? Like, how metal is that? Oh my goodness. He's the bassist. So, yeah. Other good news. I saw this one news article, right? And it's about drinking water, right? So, we drink bottled water, right? We cannot drink ocean water. Well, apparently there's been research and a new method, right? Using solar panels, right? And I don't know all the details. I read the article. It was very interesting, though. And what's able to happen is, normally when someone purifies ocean water into drinking water, there's a byproduct called brine, and it's super salty and very harmful to ocean life. So they have nowhere to put that waste. But people have genuinely come up with a way to convert ocean water into drinking water. Not only that, right? It eliminates the brine oh my goodness, the brine byproduct. It eliminates that, and it extracts valuable lithium that's, useful for batteries and all bunch of stuff that I don't even know about, right? Isn't that crazy? That's generally like top 3. I feel like that alone could be like top 10 greatest like inventions. Dude, that's drinking water. Humans need water. And we found a way to take ocean water, which we have a ton of, purify it, no harmful byproducts, and we get lithium at the same time, and we get to drink it. Isn't that such good news? Anyway, that's my good news for you guys. I ranted on so much dark stuff, but, don't let these, don't be down in the dumps, yeah, life can suck sometimes, but it doesn't stay bad. Nothing bad lasts forever. Yeah, nothing good lasts forever, but that's the cycle, right? It gets bad, it gets good, it gets worse, it gets better, it gets a lot worse, it gets a lot better, and stay with us. Hold on, all right? I look forward to seeing y'all in the next video. Bye-bye.